Everyone, and welcome to the Football Takeover. I'm your host, G Talks Arsenal, for this Arsenal versus Man United preview, which is obviously a really, really important game. So, obviously, before we get into it, good evening to everybody who's tuning in or who is due to tune in. But I'm pleased to let you know that I'm joined by my bro Ali. How you doing, Ali?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, G. You're right, Neil. How you doing, mate? But yeah, all is good. Busy Saturday, but here we are. It's about to get exciting in this next hour and a bit.
Excellent, excellent. That is for sure. And yeah, obviously, again, we are joined by Neil. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good boys. Yeah, excited, nervous, not gonna lie. Yeah, a little bit apprehensive about what tomorrow brings, but I'm excited about it. And yeah, good. How you guys doing? Well?
Yeah, man, I'm all good, man. I mean, not to divert, but as I was saying to you guys off stage, man, my barber annoyed me today. So Mitch, if you're watching, I've got it in for you. I'm joking. But yeah, no, so I booked an appointment with my barber, but for some reason or another, the shop was closed today. So that kind of threw me a little bit, but I didn't let it ruin my day. You know, I still hit the gym. Helps my mate kind of clear out the shed, etc., because he's moving. And then just kind of chilled really for the rest of the day. Watched a bit of football, a bit of chilling. But yeah, no, overall a productive Saturday. So yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I'm looking forward to the show. And obviously, you know what I mean, if we get on to the matter of obviously this show, you know, Arsenal versus Man United, I mean, this is a huge game. So the first thing I want to do is really just kind of get you kind of obviously gave us a little bit of insight into how you're feeling, Neil, with regards to feeling a bit nervous. So I'll come to you first, Neil, actually. Yeah, like, you know, let me know how you're feeling about the game, how you kind of expect it to go, how you want it to go. And yeah, just kind of like predicted lineup, that kind of thing. Like just give me a summary of how you're feeling, obviously, on the eve of what is a huge game, particularly because obviously City have gone on and got the 2-0 win against Wolves today.
That's it. Yeah, I think from my point of view, I think look, it's gonna be a tough game. I don't by any stretch of the imagination think it's gonna be an easy game. The game's gonna go one of two ways. Either Carrick's gonna come into the game, I think, with his team, maybe feeling a little bit above their station because they beat City, and possibly play a high line, high press. If they do that, I think we dismantle them. Because of the way we played the Champions League, so on and so forth. But personally, what I feel will happen is they'll play a mid to low block. And I think they'll try to hit us on a counter attack, which I think we should be weary of. Their front line is fast. And I think they have a good front line. I really do. So from my point of view, yeah, I am nervous about tomorrow. If we're going into it, I think we can make this difficult for ourselves, or we can have a really professional performance, like we did against Bayern Munich, and beat them quite comfortably. So it's I'm on the fence right now. I'll tell you after the first 5 minutes of the game tomorrow.
No problem, no problem. And just another quick question. I don't want you to like kind of go through your whole lineup, but you know, Arteta has been criticized. Not so much a game like this because you know this is not a title challenge in United, but it is a United full of confidence. Obviously, given they got the result they did and the performance, more importantly, I think against Man City. So you know, I think there are a lot of narratives around the whole idea of him playing it safe, sometimes being a little bit too conservative, style of play, etc. I mean, how would you approach the game, and how do you want Arteta to approach the game in terms of obviously, start fast, blow them off the park, go really attacking and play like an Eze in midfield, or is it a case of kind of like size them up in the first kind of 10-15 minutes, keep it tidy, keep it tight, and then just pick them off like slowly as the game progresses? Like, obviously give me your opinion how you think Arteta will approach it, but more importantly, how would you approach it in terms of like how you'd play?
Yeah, I would approach it with a fast start and overwhelm them, particularly at home. I think the position we're in right now as a team, I think with regards to top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, looking really good in the cup games. Especially away in Europe. I think we should hit them hard. I think we should hit them fast, and almost take the wind out of their sails and say to them, listen, this is who you're playing. You're not playing some mid-table, low-table team. This is who you're playing. You're playing us at our home, and you're going to listen to what we want to do and how we want to play and force ourselves on them. Arteta's going to go the complete opposite to that. I think he's going to try and work out what their strategy will be and their system. Don't forget, we're not playing Amarim, so Carrick. I think. I mean, I don't know. I can't say whether I rate him or not yet. But personally, I think Carrick will have a little bit more of a clue, being a Fergie type disciple, if you want to call it that. So he's going to go cautious. I believe he'll go cautious initially, and then I think hopefully what he normally does is tries to work a team out in the first half, and then goes for the kill in the second half. My only worry is that with their attack, I don't want to give them a foothold in the game, because I think Maguire will play in defence tomorrow, with that little, excuse my language, ball bag that I don't like, little bull terrier. Sorry, I didn't say that. I meant bull terrier. So I think they'll have a decent defense tomorrow, but their defense doesn't worry me. I think we have far good a team to worry about their defense. But what does worry me is Cunha, Buemo, Ahmed, and Fernandez. I'm not too worried about Tesco, but again, he can score goals. Yeah, so for me, that's what I think will happen tomorrow.
No problem. And I'm going to come to you, Ali, obviously with the same thing. But I'm bringing up this comment, and I'm going to leave this comment up for a little bit, just because obviously, Man United are not having the best of seasons. But I have to be honest. I was in the Discord. I was predicting a very comfortable City win when obviously the Manchester derby happened, and I have to be honest. I was really, really surprised. Really surprised how well United played. Really surprised that they got the result. Some people might say, obviously, it's too early. Neil said it's too early to rate him. You got your kind of cliche, new manager bounce, and it could literally just be that, an inspired performance. They could be kind of back to BAU, business as usual, against us tomorrow. But obviously, coming to you, Man United fans are flexing. They are flexing. It's amazing what 3 points against your City rivals can do for a fan base. So obviously coming to you, same questions really that I posed to Neil. How are you feeling kind of ahead of, going into the game on the eve of what is a massive game? City have cut the points deficit to 4. So that's going to add a little bit of pressure on us. But how are you feeling ahead of the game? How do you see it going? And obviously, how do you see Arteta approaching it, as opposed to how you'd approach it?
Yes, boys. This is a fixture where I grew up on. This is the first one I used to have a look at the beginning of the season when the fixtures used to come out. We're pretty much all here. We're pretty much in the same age group, around the same time. This was the rivalry of the Premier League. It's obviously gone quiet over the past maybe 5 to 6, 7, 8 years. But this game, I didn't predict Man United to play the way they did. I wasn't surprised how they performed against Manchester City, because I know they've got good football players. And all it needed was Amarim to leave, because that he was playing the wrong system with the wrong players. So now they're playing 4-3-3. I think they're going to be more of a threat. I think every Manchester United game, Arsenal game, has always been a tough one, whether the team is out of form or not. We've seen Rashford on his debut beat us 3-2 at Old Trafford. We've seen when we've been poor and we've lost to a good United side 8-2, and quite a lot of stuff in between where it comes to they could be out of form and they still give us problems. And then it's a squeaky bum, 2-0, 2-1, tight game, 1-0. So that's how it's always been, and nothing's going to change tomorrow. I'm very calm. I'm embracing this season. as I have done from the start with Andrea Berta's appointment, all the way through the transfer window. Not best pleased with the performances, like the majority are on Football Takeover Discords and group chats, and obviously afar. But I'm calm. I expect, I'm not being arrogant, just confident. I don't think I'm going to get nervous before the start of the game. And like I've been saying all season, pick the right team and win, because I know what team they're pretty much going to put out, not because I've got inside information, because that's their best 11. I was one or two players off that last week. Listen, they're a good side. I think they can easily finish third or fourth this season, Manchester United, with Carrick in charge. I think Michael Carrick was he was solid at Middlesbrough. He got them from the doldrums into the playoffs, was in the top 2 for a while, then he fell away, and then he got fired the season later or whenever it was. But for me personally, as long as we execute our game plan, whatever that may be, whether it's the negative, well, not negative, but cautious is the word from Arteta. I'm like, Neil, go from the first whistle. We've seen Martin Odegaard at home against Man City dismantle them 5-1. So it's in his locker to do it. I expect it and I want it, because this is the time to prove that we are top for a reason. I don't care about Man City. I'm a bit like Bobby in that sense, especially this season. Seasons gone by, I'd be nervous, I'd be apprehensive. Oh, it'd be lucky if we we need to score first. I'll be happy with a draw, home or away.
Yeah.
We were supposed to smash them at Old Trafford, and it was a 1-0, just about one. Right? So this is Man United Arsenal. Is a different. Yes, it's not a derby, but it feels like one. Just through the fan base, the history of the Premier League. It surrounds these two clubs. Liverpool, to a certain extent, being that third original club that came through financially doing their own thing rather than getting money invested into them like other clubs like City, Chelsea examples. But for me, pick the right team, win. I don't like G said a few weeks ago, I'm not really bored about the performance at this point. I just need to win. I need 3 points. That's 3 points. That's one game closer to winning the title. 7 points is a big gap at this stage of season if we get through tomorrow, because this was the weekend where I knew Man City would win today. So I didn't even bother watching that game. What's the point? I knew. Semenyo was my captain this week in the fantasy. So that's where I had my thing. So for me, tomorrow, big game, big moment in the season. Go and put a performance in. Yes, like Neil said, we play for one half. I would like us to play for 75 minutes. Because if we do that, I think we will sew this game up within the distance. I'm confident, G. I'm confident. Okay. I'm not arrogant. It's just I just feel like I don't think this is all on Arteta. This whole season is on Arteta. Forget. I had the same energy, the same attitude from game week 1 that I've got in game week 22, wherever we're at, 23, wherever it is. Pick the right team and win. You've got the best squad in the league. You've got the top 3 squads in Europe. You're delivering. And as Neil said, if they come and play and they go toe-to-toe with us, we will outswing them. We will knock them out.
Yeah.
But if they play a little mid to low block, can that defense hold that with a 2 at the back? They're used to a 3 there. It becomes, we need to score first. Like we say this every week. Doesn't matter if it's in the discourse, on lives. Arsenal Football Club need to score the first goal tomorrow. Because if they score first, they will most certainly sit back and get us on the break. We need to make sure we don't start like we did against Aston Villa, because that was not good enough. We could have easily been 1 or 2-0 down before we got into our groove in the second half. We cannot be starting like that. Hence why start fast, try to get a goal up, start them to control the game, but then also look to get the second and potentially the third if we can. If not, then you get to halftime 1-0, whatever it is. Just make sure you're not behind, and then the substitutions will obviously take place, and then hopefully they'll get us over the line as finishers.
No, definitely. I mean, for me, it's like I'm not nervous about the game. This season, I've not really been nervous approaching many games at all. So I'm not nervous
No.
ahead of the game. I'm not massively confident either. I'm kind of a lot of this season. I've kind of been in a bit of a weird space, like ahead of our matches. I want the win. I think we'll win against United tomorrow. I'm a little bit skeptical of how I believe Arteta will approach the game. I agree with you both. I think we should approach it in a very, we should try and blow them off the park within the first kind of 15, 20 minutes. But I agree with you in that I think Arteta is going to have a little bit more of a conservative approach to the match. This United team, like you lot both said, swing for swing, we win the game. And I don't think defensively they're good enough to mid-low block us for the 90 minutes and us not get on the clean sheet. Not get on the score sheet. Although I know we fired a couple of blanks against Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. But I just think City have cut the lead down to 4 points. There's a bit of pressure on us. This is the perfect example. This is the perfect opportunity for this team to really just, go out there, just blow away a team that blew away City. Do you know what I mean?
That's where it is.
You know what I mean? Like this might not be a United team of old, but when you actually think the statement win United had against City, if we can go out there and beat them comfortably and put in a really good performance, it will really massively crank up the pressure psychologically on a Manchester City side, who obviously over the next couple of games have got some tricky games. They have got Liverpool, they have got Spurs, and let's not forget. Away? I'm not sure if they're home or away. But there was a bit of chat in the Discord, earlier about Spurs are in bad form. Spurs are generally always in bad form, generally speaking. Let's face it.
Season in, season out.
and form has never really played a part in that fixture for some strange reason. Even when City were a big, massive firing machine, Spurs seem to find a performance against them. So, I think this is just as important, if not more important, as the Liverpool and the Forest game. And I think the added context of that is the fact that this United team absolutely played City off the park and probably should have gone on to win that game, maybe 4 or 5, even 6. Yeah. So I think if we can go out there, and even if we can nick a 1-0 win, or even if we go out there and give a convincing 3 or 4-0 win, whatever the performance or the result is like, if we get the result and we go 7 clear, we've just beat a side, extended our lead back to 7 against a team that absolutely made City look ordinary. So I think it will send the right message. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up obviously some of the slides that the big man Bobby has obviously put together for our show. So shout out to Bobby, because I know he's not on our streams hosting at the moment, but he's definitely obviously contributing towards the channel, helping us kind of prep for these shows. And obviously me, Ali, Neil, everybody in the Discord, everybody on X, everybody that watches the shows, tuning in now, sending you best wishes and obviously hopefully your health improves as soon as possible. So head to head. So if we look at it, we've played 60. So obviously we've got here 67 times. We've got here draws 19, 22 Arsenal wins, 16 home, and 6 away. Manchester United 26 wins, 18 home and 8 away. I mean, I'll come to you, Ali, first on this one. I mean, we've got our kind of heads-to-heads here. Do you think previous games play a big part in how this game may unfold?
It can do to a certain extent, but obviously different management, players the same. But for this game in particular, for me, I'm just so locked in on just winning this game. Previous records doesn't come into it, to be honest. At this stage, they make a deal. Obviously, these stats are very important to have. But for me, I'll be telling my players, if I'm Arteta, 3 points tomorrow. Don't even talk about the history or the future. It's all about tomorrow. You win tomorrow, that's it. You're one step closer to lifting the league. And that empty cutout they've got in the hallways at the Arsenal, you're looking at that going, you're one step closer of filling that. So it's mentality. Forget the past for a second. Let's just specifically focus on tomorrow's game, making sure the fans are flying in that stadium, and then the players have to do their bit for the fans to keep that intensity up for the 97 minutes what we're going to play tomorrow. It can't be the fans, like Arteta always asks for, come, make sure you make the noise and you're our 12th man, and then we have a flat first 20, 30 minutes when you've seen Bruno put through a few passes to Brian and Cunha, and then and we're going, and it's still 0-0, but they're well in the game. So listen, they're going to be hungry. Of course they are. They're elite football players at Manchester United. They've just been through a bad patch with a manager that was just so arrogant. He just couldn't be bothered to keep his job by changing the formation, quite simply. He'll play 4 at the back 1 week, then he'll go back and revert back to 3 at the back for the next 6 weeks. So he was confused himself. They've got a talented bunch of players. They should easily make the Champions League, but we should be smashing them tomorrow.
Absolutely. And kind of touching a little bit on, what you said there. I mean, this is really a game where, forget, sometimes it kind of annoys me a little bit. Like, I'm kind of split, right? Sometimes it annoys me sometimes when, Arteta and the players and some fans moan about the atmosphere. Bro, it's on the players to make the atmosphere. Like, I'm not saying 100%. Fans should go there and be silent. But listen, you get the fans excited by your performance, they're gonna make noise. They're gonna be loud. Do you know what I mean? Like for me personally, like, it's not for the fans to get the team up for the game. You should already be up for the game, and then the fans will just mirror your energy. That's what it is for me. The onus should not be on the fans to inspire the team and inspire the players. The players should come out there, and the fans will look at it and be like, yo, these players are on it. This is a performance we want to see. And they will emulate the energy from the players. They will emulate the performance that the players in. So yeah, I completely agree with that. They've got to go out there and they've got to show the fans that they are up for this, and they're going to put in a performance and they're going to get the 3 points. Before I go to Neil, I know you want to say something, Ali.
Yeah, this is like, when you stand in the tunnel and you see Patrick Vieira and you see Henri, Lundbergs and all that, right? Energy. This is our moment right now.
Locked in.
It sounds cheesy, right? But tomorrow when we're standing in that tunnel, fully fledged, Saliba's not a kid no more. Yeah? Big Gabby is Big Gabby, right? You're looking across at them. You're not even looking at them. They're looking at us, thinking, damn, that's how it's got to be. We 100%. Need to make sure we're locked in and we are executing our press. We are executing the desire to get to the ball first. The second ball, that's what's going to get the fans going. All right? So we know how football works. We're all intelligent. We've watched it enough, right? Get the fans going. Make sure you win that first tackle. Make sure when we have our first attack, that ball is fizzing across the surface under the lights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is no different to a Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid at home. This is what it is right now. Look how Inter Milan was the perfect rehearsal for this game. In terms of how Inter Milan approached it, United are going to play exactly the same way. There's no difference. So we've already built the confidence. We are on our own journey. We are on our own run. 2 0-0s in a row, it feels like 2 losses for us as Arsenal fans these days.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we got a 0-0 against Liverpool, we're back. This ain't Shamak days. This is not Bentner days. This is not Giroud days. This is not Schillaci at the back with Almunia in goal. This is not Silvestre left back. This is a totally different animal. So we should be going into this game confident. Those players have to perform. If you want to win the trophies, these are the games you have to win. It's as simple as that. We can't be going here again and coming out with a draw and going, Yeah, but we're gonna now win against Leeds and the rest. No. Just beat what's in front of you. There's no you got to just ignore the badge, play your game, and win. It's as simple as that.
That's what we need. That's what we need. Obviously, the recent meetings have been quite favourable for us. I'm going to come to you in a second, Neil. Obviously, we got a 1-0 win. Then there was a draw, 2-0 win to Arsenal, an away win for Arsenal, and then obviously a 3-1 to Arsenal. So obviously, it's been quite favourable. Now, looking obviously at the form guide, I'm going to come to you, Neil. So, beat Brighton, smashed Villa, scraped a win against Bournemouth, and then obviously 2 0-0 draws. That, I mean, I'm not disastrous, but I think given the context, we could have extended our lead at the top. I think that's why there's been somewhat of a deflation. But then when you flip it and you look at United's form, 1-0 against Newcastle, a draw with Wolves, pretty poor side, draw with Leeds, a 2-2 Burnley, and then obviously that standout performance and result. Going into this game, does form really matter? Do you think the form of either side is going to have an impact going into the match?
No, because I think these big games, I think it almost becomes like a cup game, these big games. I think both teams will be up for it. I think both teams will want to assert their physicality on the game, which will happen and always happens in a United game. But, apart from previous years, we do have, physical players in our team that can take the physical aspects of the game towards them. So that side of it, I'm not too worried about. I mean, look, the City game, I thought City were poor. I thought United played them off the park, but I thought City were poor. Personally, I think, let's not, I think I put something in Discord and something in the chat the other day, showing my pure distaste for Man United. I don't like them as a club. I don't like them as a football team. I have to respect them, but and their club's history, and I appreciate that, but I just don't like them at all. I don't like any of their players. But for me, look, form wise, we're not showing naturally because it's a Premier League game. We're not showing the fact that we have just gone to the San Siro with 7 changes in our team and pumped them without even really worrying about them. This team swept them aside, and and I think we give Arteta a lot of grief. I give Arteta a lot of grief personally. Look, I back him, but I give him a lot of grief. But for me, he got that the San Siro game spot on. His management was good. I loved the way that Gyökeres came on because there was space in the game, and I don't know if we're maybe in for a little sneaky surprise tomorrow, because the last time Gabby Jesus played against United made them look silly. So that may be something that's playing in Arteta's mind as well. I think we'll get into that. I know we'll get into the teams later, but I don't think form really matters in this game, mate. All I care about is going out there and smashing them.
Absolutely.
We also have to just quickly point out Manchester City's defense last week just told me the story before the game even unfolded. That back 4 was an under 23s, inexperienced. People forget that. The narrative all this week, outstanding,
that is true.
Man United, outstanding.
True.
Listen, at the end of the day, every game is different. But the reality is, Man City's defensive injuries have cost them the ability to build in midfield and sustain attacks.
Had the match. Sorry.
Go on, Neil.
I was just saying, had the Manchester City defense that played today against Wolves played in that game, it would have been a different game.
Yeah,
Gay, I watched the game this evening, and Gay completely transformed their defense.
This is the thing.
Had that happened, they are not Gabriel and Saliba.
There's levels to this,
and this is the point. So now we're in the phase of a season where you want Man United to win. Like, we all wanted Man United to win last week. Fantastic, they've done it. We all knew we were playing them next. So as G said earlier, and I'm sure you did, Neil, as well, if we beat them, that's fantastic, because it's like a 6-pointer, because they beat our rivals for the title, and then we beat the team that beat our rivals.
Yeah.
In Manchester United.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how in league, in our league wins over the years that I've seen 4 Premier League titles. Yeah. 4 league, sorry, as in 3, and then the George Graham boys and all that, right? In the Championship, Division 1, whatever you want to call it. I've seen those wins. And you go through a season and you're like, who can take points off of City? Who can take points off of Liverpool in yesteryear?
Yeah.
Who can take points off of United so we can then jump them and go ahead of them? Or this is the momentum game that shifts and then we go on a run. This is the moment in that season, in this season for us, sorry. We win tomorrow, I think we go on a run of games. I really do. I said it 3-4 weeks ago. This period, if we end up winning 5, we've drawn 1, but we've got to win the next 4. I think City drop 1 game, whether it's a draw, another draw, or maybe another loss, and then we win our respective games. I think it's Leeds, Sunderland at home, and then we've got a couple of others. I can't remember who. Chelsea are in there, someone else, Tottenham maybe. If we win those games, I think we've won the league, because the gap will be too big going into the last 12, 11 games, mathematically. So that Inter Milan game, everyone's saying, oh, yeah, but they've had a week's rest. This Arsenal team needed that game to build confidence, to be like, okay, we played Inter Milan and we've swiped them, like Neil said. Now we're playing Man United. They're going to be on it. They're not coming off 2-0-0s. They're coming off a 3-1 victory in midweek. It's a big difference psychologically.
Yeah, we need to humble them.
Yeah, no, definitely we do. And I think, you know what? I think there was a lot of talk about, obviously, after the 2-0-0s, and I kind of agree with what you're saying there, Ali. I think the Inter Milan game was perfect. I think that the timing of the game, I think we needed that. You know, you get a 0-0 against Liverpool. There's a little bit of disappointment that we didn't necessarily play as well as we could. We didn't take advantage of, a rival slipping, and then you get the Forest game. The excitement's built again, and then you have this kind of overwhelming feeling of deflation. And I'll be honest, like going into that game, I was already thinking about this United game. I'll have to be honest. And I just thought to myself, you know what, we're flying in the Champions League. And it's not like it's got to the stage now in the Champions League where, if we put in a bad performance, it's really going to affect our standing. We're going to finish first or second. So I kind of had one eye on the game. I'm glad he rotated. The performance was really good. I was actually pleasantly surprised how well we played. And then the fact that I didn't feel like we even really got out of second gear, and we comfortably beat a really decent side, in Europe. So I definitely feel like we needed to get that Inter Milan win under our belt going into obviously tomorrow's game. We've seen a lot of the narrative over X. We've seen a lot on Discord. Obviously, Bobby has given us some information with regards like the availability of players, and by all accounts, it looks like things are looking up in terms of injuries. Obviously, I've got on the screen here Arsenal's out list. So we've got Hincapié, who is a doubt for tomorrow's game. But obviously, we have seen images of him, kind of in and out. Kind of online, taking part in training and so forth. Calafiori, who in my opinion is a really, really important player, is also a doubt. And obviously, not so promising news with regards to Havertz. It's looking like an early February. There seems to be maybe, I don't know how true it is, but there seem to be some issues with regards to his knee and so forth. And then obviously on the Man United side, you've got, what's his name? How'd you pronounce it again? You got De Ligt early February, and you got Xerxes early February. I feel like I haven't even seen them. We've dealt with our fair share of injuries going, during this season. I'll come to you, Ali. It kind of feels like perfect timing, really. Going into the kind of over halfway of the season, going into the back end of the season, it's really important that we keep this squad fit.
Yeah, this is the business end of the season, as we always know and say. when we're in title runs and trying to lift trophies, right? So this is where it all counts. We need to be as fit as possible, as available as possible. And I think we've started the year in a solid fashion. I think Havertz is training. I think the narrative online is a bit extra. I don't know if Bobby's backstage, he can update us with the Kai Havertz situation. But from what I've seen, I think he might even be in the bench tomorrow, to be honest, on the bench tomorrow. How do we know? So it's all mind games. Mikel Arteta, we know what he's all about. He does it all the time. Oh, he's not fit. He's not ready. And then Martinelli's at the train station on his way to Anfield.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not fit. He's not ready. And then all of a sudden, Declan Rice is on the pitch against Bournemouth. So
like 90 minutes.
Exactly. So I'm quietly confident as long as our players, if we can keep this bill of health from now to the end of the season, I don't see how we don't win the league. Then after that, it's a bonus for me.
Yeah.
So, and that's just not me being arrogant. That's just the reality of the last 22 games. That's the reality of our season so far. So, have we lost any games in the FA Cup yet? No, we got Wigan at home. Favourable draw, should get through. Carabao Cup will be difficult. We score first. That game should be done. So we should be in the final. And then, obviously, this is the biggest game. Before any of that comes, win tomorrow and we're there, I think. I think we're 7 points will feel like 9 points tomorrow.
100%.
I know Bobby gets obviously more information than us mere mortals. But I think we see a surprise tomorrow at left back. I think either Calafiori or Hincapié will be back.
Yeah.
In the starting lineup.
Even if they could even do maybe 45 minutes each.
Yeah.
Start with Calafiori and then because we've got 5 subs now.
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that, obviously, because we brought up the predicted lineups. So if we go through the Arsenal predicted lineup and formation ahead of tomorrow. So we've got Raya in goal. We've got a back four of White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber. Midfield 3 of Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard. With obviously a front 3 of Saka, Trossard, and Gyökeres. Now, obviously, we're gonna get to like kind of team ratings later on the show. Bobby will have made slides for a number of fans and so forth, individuals who have put what they would play. I mean, looking at this predicted lineup, Neil, I mean, would you change anything in terms of personnel?
Look, I wouldn't be unhappy if that team starts. So I'm not going to be unhappy if that team starts. Personally, I am hoping that Odegaard gets switched even 60 minutes with Eze. Hopefully, depending on what's happening in the game. But I genuinely, the only thing I would change is the left back position. I'd give Timber a rest. I think the guy looks like he needs a rest. But I think for me, that's the only position I would change, and I would put a Hincapié or a Calafiori in there. Calafiori would be my preference.
Okay, I'll come to you, Ali. Obviously, for the United lineup. Obviously, feel free to give your opinion about the Arsenal lineup, but more specifically, looking at that Man United lineup of Lamens, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, midfield 3 of Casemiro, Maino, Ahmad, and then a front 3. I know Fernandes will be in the midfield, but you get the point.
And then Ahmad will be with Fernandes.
So I mean, is there anyone in that lineup? Is there anything in that lineup that scares you? Anything that you think, you would be
me as a person, that's funny. Me as a person, I'm not scared.
I know you're not. I know that's why I asked you the question.
I'm not scared of no one. So on this planet, to be quite honest. But in terms of respecting their attacking side of the game, I think Mainu is crucial for them. I think Kobe Mainu will be crucial for that midfield for them. He's that dynamism. Can he disrupt Declan Rice? I don't think he'll. I think this could be a game where Mainu starts well and then he'll fade, because obviously you're playing against a high-level physical midfield in ourselves as well. I think Brian, I've watched him at the G-Tech for many. I've seen him from his debut at Brentford all the way through to when Brentford sold him in the summer. He's a special kid, special talent, good first touch, very strong lower body, holds the ball up very well. I wasn't surprised to see him up there as a 9 because he done it for Brentford on numerous occasions when Ivan Toney was injured or suspended. Yep. So he will play that role. They will be fluid. They will be moving. Fernandes will be looking to find them. We got to make sure that Bruno Fernandes does not get a lot of the ball. It's as simple as that. Him off of the ball equals us dominating the game.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that. This is a game for Martin Odegaard. So if he does start, I would like him to do what he does off the ball, and then when he gets the opportunities on the ball, hopefully they come and attack us, and he can then spray the ball like he has done in the past. It's not like he hasn't. He's done it this season.
He needs to be stronger. He needs to be stronger in this game physically than he was last game.
100%. But the thing is, we say that, and then Eze plays, and then he's losing the ball and jogging back. So I understand the reasons why Eze maybe not in the side as well, but Odegaard is not doing enough to just stay in the side week in, week out also. So something's got to give. If Kai Havertz was at full fitness and full health, he would be my 10. Physically, he's got it. He'll run, and he's got the touch and nous to get others in. But I respect them. I've always said I respect Man United's side. I've got a lot of Man United friends that I speak to on a weekly basis, and I've always said to them they should have been in the top 4 this season. So they're not far off that, and I think they will get top 5 and get Champions League football next season. But like I've been saying to all my Man United friends, thank you for last weekend. Let us beat you this weekend, and you can win the rest of your 15 games, and I don't really care.
Agreed.
But yeah, obviously, like any big game, there are going to be big battles. So obviously on the screen,
is going to be good.
Yeah, we've got obviously White versus Dorgu. I mean, I don't know what it is about White. And I don't know if you lot share this opinion. Maybe this is controversial. I mean, let me know in the chat, people. Thank you for all those that are watching. If for whatever reason you haven't liked or subscribed to the channel, please do. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the chat. Ali, Neil, feel free to kind of, butt in at some point. But right now, I'm just not fully convinced about White at right back. It's the one area in the defense I often feel like going into a game, because let's face it, if we had a fully fit squad, I don't think he starts. I think White is one player to watch in the summer. I think that Arsenal will be willing to listen to offers. It's the one player in the back 4 when I see the name, and like I say, this could be controversial, it could be unfair, but there's just something about White at right back, at centre back, in the defence, period. At one point, I feel like he was a level raiser. I just don't feel like I just don't feel he's at that level anymore. I think he's a really good squad player. I wouldn't be in a hurry to get rid of him. At the same time, when I see him starting, I just feel a little bit nervous. Not so much tomorrow against Dorgu, even though Dorgu's a good player, but I just feel like White is the one player in that back 4 that could potentially be found out. Are you at all? I mean, what's your opinion on that? Obviously, going into tomorrow's game, but just in general, your general perspective of White in this Arsenal squad.
I think going forward, White is. I think he links up better with Saka, in my opinion. I also think he finds better positions around Saka when we've got the ball moving forward. He doesn't get in the way. But I think defensively he is probably, I would say, currently the weak link in the defense. And it depends on how the game goes tomorrow. I know a lot of people are like, recently, last few games, Timber hasn't been playing his best, defensively. Personally, exactly. But personally, I would want Timber against Ahmed tomorrow. And left back.
100%.
But I think from my point of view, I think for tomorrow's game, I'd happily have Ben White at right back, but I think in the summer I think we will probably see a change up there.
I'm content with Ben White starting this game because of what Neil just said in terms of his attacking. So, for example, if we're going with Timber and White as our fullbacks, we know that Saka needs to have a man of the match performance tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's been dry for 10 games. He hasn't scored a goal. He's got some assists. He's doing well. He's doing all right. But he needs to now. He now needs to come into his own. He's had a good few months to recover from his surgery from the hamstring that he got, and now it's time for Bukayo Saka to really become that star boy again. Because I haven't heard people online say star boy for a while. So this is a type of game where Saka normally does turn up. I think he will have a little bit more space. They will be snapping at him, but Ben White's overlaps, underlapping, so and that understanding that he has with Bukayo will be crucial in this game. But I'll put a curveball in and say, why can't Christian Mosquera play right back? Because when he's played there in the beginning of the season, he's been absolutely fantastic. Dorgu is better at attacking than he is defending. If you want to go for that defensive solidity, you put in Mosquera because of his pace and power and the reading of his game. I don't care about his age. He's good enough. He showed that at the San Siro when he was 2 against 1 on him, and the way he slowed the play down and he got his slide tackle in, and then so on and so forth. So for me, Mosquera could be a shout because he's got 60, 70 minutes under his belt. That could happen. But Benjamin White, if you play tomorrow, mate, make sure you make yourself a nuisance at corners and make sure you're high up on that right side of the pitch. Listen, one thing about Ben White, we all know here on this live and in the chat and around the world, he's calm and composed and he don't give a shit either.
Yeah, he does.
So and I love his shithousery as well.
Yeah, nothing's gonna rattle him. I think he'll keep the composure. I think Saliba and Big Gabby are the 2 most important players on the pitch tomorrow, just to make sure that we're secure and settled. And Dorgu is better at attacking. I've always said he should be playing higher up the pitch at United, and now he's got his opportunities. He's starting to show that. So Benjamin has to be very careful. But he's quick. He's still quick, Ben. But he just feel like he's still coming back from that injury because it was a big one, G. And he was playing with an injury for a whole season, mate, last season. So he's probably taken a lot of wear and tear on that body, and it's just taken him probably a lot of time to trust his body, really, because he hasn't really had a proper run in the side to get that sharpness back, which you're looking for, and we're all looking for.
I think also with Gabriel and Buemo moving on to that battle because on the same slide, I think what you'll find is Saliba and Gabriel, as they always do, because we should always have them as a double battle against the forward because they tag team the forward, and they do it very, very well. We know Gabriel will be the enforcer, and we know that Saliba will be the cover behind him. So I think from that point of view, looking Buemo's terrifies me as a player. I would have loved for him to have come to our club. I would have taken him tomorrow. Going back on the Saka thing, I just wanted to say one thing. Look, I love little Chile. I think he is, he is Mr. Arsenal, and we know that. But I've been criticizing him a lot recently and getting a lot of jip from him on X and stuff. And I said in the group chat earlier, I said that I think. Right now for me, Semenyo, I would have benched Saka if he'd come to our team, and that's not because I want that to happen. That's because I'm harder on Saka because I know how good he is, and I know how much he can influence our football games. And that's what I want to see tomorrow. But going back to this. I think, for me, Zubimendi is going to play a big role tomorrow. Zubimendi and Rice again, because I think they play the pivot. They play the pivot 6. Keeping Fernandez quiet. Someone mentioned it in the chat, and they got that so spot on. I think keeping him quiet, keeping Bruno quiet. There we go. Keeping Bruno quiet, and I think they fall apart.
Absolutely. And obviously these 2 battles on the screen here, we've got Zubimendi versus Fernandez and then Rice obviously versus Casemiro. I mean, Ali, midfield is going to be absolutely key tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, like every single game. whether you're playing in the Champions League, Carabao Cup third round, tomorrow, you win the midfield battle, more often than not, you will end up winning the game. So we got to make sure that Rice is on it because he's been flat for a few games. It was nice for him to get a little breather. I know people get frustrated, when Arteta brings people on for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But obviously, when you've travelled away from home on a flight, it's good to shake it out. So from a physical point of view, I don't mind these players getting 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's not going to overload them. That's just blowing off the cobwebs or the travel, really. So, yeah, midfield key battle. And if we win that, we've got a very, very good chance of winning the game overall.
And also, don't forget, all the players got an extra 2 days off this week, which only gave them 2 training days as rest. So
there's no excuses.
That will play a part.
Yeah. Other key battles here we've got with view of the predicted lineups. You've got Trossard versus Dalot, and then obviously Gyökeres, Maguire. The one I want to focus more on is obviously the centre forward position against Maguire. Obviously, Maguire is expected to play. Looking at this Gyökeres versus Maguire. So feel free to I'll come to you, Neil, on this one first. Feel free to talk about this potential battle, but I'm more kind of interested in. It's kind of a given that Maguire's going to play, but who would you play at centre forward, and how would you see that battle with Maguire playing out?
It's a tough one because I think. I forget what everyone's saying. I think everyone hypes up. I think everyone hyped up Gabby, and look, he did really well. He played well, but we're a different team with Gyökeres up front, and Arteta knows that. Arteta knows that Gyökeres is our main man, and the reason for that is because of what he offers without the ball as well. The spearhead of our attack, but it's also the spearhead of our defense as well. And I think from my point of view, I would start Gyökeres tomorrow. And I think it's going to be a big battle against Maguire. Again, Maguire is also full of shithousery. For some reason, I quite like the guy, but let's not get it kidded. He also doesn't have the pace that a lot of the defenders that Gyökeres has faced this season has a lot of pace. They're physical. They're physical, but they have a lot of the pace as well, a lot of speed. I don't think Maguire's got that. So I personally think if it comes up to hold up play, I think, Maguire's going to be a good adversary for Gyökeres. But I think if we play quick balls in behind, I think Gyökeres wins that battle tomorrow. As long as he stands on that, what is that? Who's the other central defender, the little guy that plays for? As long as he stands on Martinez's head, then I'm well happy with that. But no, from this perspective, I think I would definitely start Gyökeres for that reason, giving us the defensive press that we're going to want in the game.
Yeah. And you, Ali? I mean, who do you play in the middle, and how do you see the battle playing out?
I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus starts this game. I personally, this is a tough one because this is literally, out of all the positions on the pitch, I think this is probably the hardest selection for Arteta tomorrow, in my opinion. With the players that we've got available, they both scored in the last game. Gyökeres has got 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 3 appearances. That's including, supposedly he doesn't score in big games. He scored at Stamford Bridge and got a goal assist. And he scored in the San Siro to make sure that they can't get back into it to 2-2. So those 2 big goals in 10 days. And he's got an assist that got the winner eventually for Zubimendi at the Bridge. So he can play in these games. Like Neil said it best. If you are going to play Gyökeres, we need to make sure that Maguire is getting pulled out of the middle and he's running into the channels. So then that allows Gyökeres to run down the wing himself. And then maybe Saka comes inside and then he takes the 9 position. Because if Gyökeres can get... I've seen him do it at Sporting. He can provide. He can drill the ball across the goal. But we need to make sure that somebody else is there to tap it in. Because we can't have... Because we might have complaints tomorrow. Oh, he's on the wing. Why is he there? He should be tapping in the finish. He's on number 9. But he needs to run... He needs to run Maguire. I need to see Maguire running back towards his penalty box because they will defend deep, but they won't be so low. I think they'll defend on the 18-yard box slightly higher. So that's enough space to chip the ball over the top, vertical passes into the channels for Gyökeres to run. And then you got White overlapping, Saka underlapping Gyökeres. And then all of a sudden there's chaos.
Yeah.
So that's how we're going to get the best out of Gyökeres tomorrow. A bit like the Atleti game, the Bayern game. That's how we got to use him. If not, then you're going to start with Jesus, because if you're going to go to feet and you want your striker to hold it up and then bring the midfielders into play, then you might as well play Jesus. If you're going to be more direct tomorrow and a bit more, right, let's just get that ball forward quickly, 2-touch pass through, then Gyökeres.
I read something interesting on X earlier. I think it was earlier, where someone said actually Carrick may believe that the way to play against us is to basically play a high line and play a high pressing game against us. I don't know who put it on X. It was someone, but you know, I think it's so difficult because of the change of manager. I think going into the game, if Amorim was still in charge, I think Arteta would have worked that out really quickly, and I think this would have been a no-brainer, easy game, you know. But I think Carrick coming in as a manager, Arteta must be looking at that going, I'm not sure. How's he going to play? I don't know how he's going to play.
We can say that, but he's playing the same philosophy that he did at Middlesbrough.
Yeah,
he likes to play aggressive. He likes to play on the front foot. With Arteta's knowledge and the way he goes, is very professional in his approach. This Arsenal team, that's why I call them a machine. They'll be drilled for all scenarios. I don't want no excuses. Oh my God, they pressed us and we lost the ball. No, you know what's coming. Just deal with the matter. Don't give me excuses. New manager, all this. Not you, Neil. Just in general.
No, 100%.
Just win. It's simple. Whatever he brings, we need an answer. We need an answer. There is I can draw today. You got to win every game. In my head, if Arteta's 16 games left, we got to win all of them.
If Arteta's this number 3 manager in the world, or within the top 3 managers of the world, or whatever, which, you know, we got to give him his credit for where we are right now as a club. We've got to give him his credit, and you know, trust him until, you know, which time we don't trust him anymore. But I think from my point of view is, I want that. I don't want this mediocre mid-table club coming to our home and dictating to us. I want to 100%. Go out there and I want to stamp our authority on the game from the first minute of the game and say, you're here. We are the elect champions this season. You are not. You are mediocre. You're rubbish. Your stadium pours with water. So do you. So does your football. Get out of our stadium and take the 3-0 loss and walk away.
100%. 100%. I completely agree. I think tomorrow is the perfect opportunity for us, Arsenal Football Club, to, like I said at the beginning of the show, to absolutely batter the team that absolutely battered our Premier League rivals for this title this season. I really, really do. We've got to seize the moment. We somewhat didn't against Liverpool, and then we saw a repetition of that again.
Third time lucky, boys, eh?
So tomorrow is the time.
Let's go with that.
That's it. We're going to move on to the lineups now because we've got about 15 minutes left of the show max. So obviously I'm going to come to each of you through the lineup. So I'll start with you, Ali, first. So the first lineup that one of our kind of fans, members of our community has gone with is Raya in goal, a back 4 of White, Saliba, Gabriel and Timber, a midfield 3 of Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and then a front 3 of Saka, Trossard, Gyökeres. Basically, the predicted lineup that Bobby has shared with us. So, obviously, you know, give this rating out of 10 and your rationale why.
Well, that's the lineup that Arteta goes with. So if that's what he wants to go with tomorrow, then you got to go with it. I wouldn't be upset, like you boys have said earlier in the show. I wouldn't be upset with this lineup, so I can't. It's not going to be lower than an 8. Can I give it a 9?
It's pretty
I'll give it a
close.
9. I'll give it a 9 because I expect this team to go out and win against Manchester United. So I'm going to have to give it a 9.
Absolutely. Neil, you've got Raya in goal, back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Lewis Skelly, a midfield three of Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and then a front three of Saka, Martinelli, and Moreno.
Team? What is that? It was going so well.
Yeah. Look, I know I get a lot of pelters, and look, he did really well, during the week. But please just do not play Lewis Skelly at left back. Please. It's one of my pet hates. Look, if he has to come on and play a few minutes, I understand that. But he doesn't get near this team if Nkappi and Calafiori are fit in the left back position. He will get absolutely destroyed by Ahmed and his pace, and then Mbeumo and his pace tomorrow. So he can't play there. And look, Marino has done a job for us when we had injuries, but I do not expect that man to start up front while we have Jesus and Gyökeres and Havertz. Well, we know we don't have him, but even a very limp Havertz. Just do not play Marino up front. I think Marino actually, the last few games I've seen him play coming on for Odegaard or in that midfield, I think he's actually played quite well. But for me, this team, because of those two factors, and Martinelli, I don't want Martinelli starting a game in the Premier League. For those two reasons, I give this a 3.
No problem. Ali, you have a team of Rare in goal, back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, midfield three of Zubimendi, Rice, and introduction of Eze. And then a front three of Madueke, Saka, and Gyökeres. Yeah, this is an interesting team.
Yeah, so Bobby said it in the past, in many past streams, Saka can play on the left wing. So that means Madueke plays on the right. Yeah. And then you got Gyökeres through the middle. I've always said you can't have 3 power players and speedsters up front. Saka allows Madueke and Gyökeres to have a good game. I think Eze, I think it's the Lewis Skelly one. I rate the kid. I think Neil said one of the best points he's made on this whole stream as a group, or all 3 of us, is Timber playing left back tomorrow to shut down the supply of Ahmad is very important because he likes to cut in onto his left foot. So for this particular game, I know Timber's out of position, but I think that is a role that he needs to play in this game, whether Nkappi or Calafiori are fit anyway. Because I honestly believe we got to lock off their wings, because then that cuts their supply. Then if they go through the middle, then they got to go through Gabby and Saliba. So for me, I'd give this lineup a 7 out of 10 because Lewis Skelly's at left back.
No problem. And Neil, next up for you, you've got Raya in goal, back four of Timber, Saliba, Mascara, and Gabriel at left back. A midfield three of Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard, and then a front three of Madueke on the right, Trossard on the left, and Gyökeres. Score line out of 5, and then obviously, score out of 10, and reasons why.
That sounds like G's said 5 out of 10. I think.
Yeah. Look, I mean that's quite a stacked out defense. So I mean, I wouldn't cry if that was our defense. I would switch Mascara and Gabriel, but I wouldn't start Madueke tomorrow. I don't think he's got the defensive
well said
attributes yet for the way we play. But yeah, I mean it's not an awful team. I mean, I'd probably rate that a 6.
Yeah, sorry,
I hear it. The last 2, so I'll come back to you, Ali. You've got Raya in goal. You've got a back 4 of White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber. Pretty much what we'd expect. A midfield 3 of Rice, Odegaard, Eze, and then now a front 3 of Saka on the right, Madueke on the left, and Marino through the middle. Give me a score out of 10 and the reason why.
Look, the players. I don't know how these lineups get made up. Is this like trying to wind us up or what? Like the players are all fit. So why is Marino up front? I just don't get this, bro. It's a madness. Oh, bro, man, 4 out of 10. Just because of Marino, and that's not a slant on him. He's now playing his role. Stamford Bridge off the bench. Need you to play a game because we need to rest the others. San Siro. That's your role. It's all good. You are a very solid professional squad player. 6/7 out of 10 off the bench. He comes on off the bench, and why does he look better? Because the players that have been playing 67 minutes have now got to his speed. Because he's not got that explosive speed. Unfortunately, he's a very intelligent football player. He's got a good touch on him, Mikel Merino. He does well in the Champions League. He does well in international football. Why? Because you get more time and space. It's not as physical. It's not as fast. Man United are a very dynamic, a very explosive team. That's what we're going to be facing tomorrow. They're not Bayern Munich, but it'll be similar to that game where you've got your Gnabry's, you've got the Carl, you've got your Elise's. They got those type of those attributes within their side. So it's nothing new what we're coming up against. I cannot give this more than a 4 because Mikel Merino pressing this United defense to get the ball back. This don't happen. Eze, does he have Eze and Madueke? Do they have the off-ball nous that Arteta wants in a game like this? No, so they're not going to start. One of them, if anything, one of them will start, not both. So
no problem.
There we are.
And lastly, before we obviously get on to score predictions and so forth, Neil, you've got Raya in goal. You've got a back four of Timber, Saliba, Mascara, and Gabriel. Midfield three of Zubi, Odegaard, and Eze, and then a front three of Saka, Trossard, and Gyökeres.
Interesting.
No, absolutely not, mate. Absolutely not. I mean, you're taking Rice out, which is physicality in the midfield. I think I would try if I saw Odegaard as having to pivot with Zubimendi in midfield. I think you just get bullied in the midfield. So for me, just purely because you're leaving Rice out, I give that like a 4.
No problem.
Before we move on, Mosquera at left back can work. As well, because he can play. He can play all the way across the back line. So for me, I wouldn't even mind Mosquera at left back and Timber at right back.
I think that would be our strongest defense.
That gives us a lot of pace and power, but then there's a lot of onus on Timber to make those overlapping runs, because then we've got two sides that are very solid defensively, but nothing going forwards. Because I don't expect and I don't want to see Mosquera galloping over the halfway line playing left wing while Trossard's cutting into the space. That doesn't make sense for me. So it's going to be very interesting how the game pans and goes. But Mosquera can also play there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta did something like that.
I think we see a sneaky surprise tomorrow with a Hincapié or a Calafiori. I really do. I think they probably could have made the midweek game, but I think he was keeping them for United game.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, right. Well, big update before we get on to obviously the score prediction. So do lads have a little bit of a think what you think the score prediction is going to be. But yeah, I want to big up Amine Adli. Yeah, Amine Adli for a 95-minute match winner for Bournemouth against Liverpool. So the final whistle was Bournemouth 3, Liverpool 2. So whoever Adli is, big up Adli for that match winner.
Yeah, that's gonna be the ultimate hate watch in a minute when I turn it on.
I'm locking in. I'm locking in on the YouTube highlights. I'm locking in match of the day. I'm watching that. So whoever you are, Amine Adli, 95-minute winner. Big up yourself, yeah. Big up yourself.
I thought that was someone in the comments he was bigging up.
I just want to laugh at Liverpool fans. I just want to laugh at Liverpool fans. But yeah, I'll come to you, Neil. Obviously, massive game. We've previewed it. Give me your score predictions or score prediction.
I'm normally quite bold with my score predictions. And Ali will know this. I'm always quite bold with them. And you know what? I'm going to continue to be bold tomorrow because I think the boys realise that the last 2 draws in the Premier League have not been acceptable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a 4-1 win to Arsenal.
Cool. Nice. If that happens, bro. Oh my lord.
4-1 win. So you heard it here first. Neil is going with a 4-1 convincing win for the Arsenal. Mohammed, obviously, in the chat is going 3-1 Arsenal. Put your score predictions in the chat. Ali, what are you saying in terms of score prediction for tomorrow?
These games are always tight. I would like us to win 3-0, but I've just got a feeling it will be a 2-1 game. I would like us to be. I expect us to win, but it's just gonna. It's Arsenal Man United. It's never easy.
Yeah.
But it would be amazing if we do make it easy tomorrow, because it's about time we smashed them, because we haven't smashed them properly in a long time. And I'm not going back. On our history, the previous 5 results, it said 3-1. That was when we scored 2 goals in 90+ minutes. So for me, I don't really count that. That was a 2-1. It turned out to be 3-1.
Chris is just sad.
What's that?
I said Chris is just sad in the chat.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's just sad because they got beaten 3-2.
Listen, mate, hopefully we can make your weekend a little bit better if the Arsenal beat your rivals, Manchester United. Because Chris is a Liverpool fan, as we all know. I want 3-0, but realistically, it's going to be, I think it will be 2-1 to the Arsenal in a hard-fought game. And the challengers will be flying in.
No problem.
For sure.
I mean, for me personally, my gut is telling me 1-0 to the Arsenal. I don't think I want us to go out there and smash them off the park. I don't think we will. I think Arteta is going to be a little bit conservative. I think we win this game 1-0, and I think we win it with a set piece. That's just my gut instinct. But we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we've got some score predictions. It'd be so brilliant. Score prediction here. Obviously, we've got Sam Parson 3178 agrees with Neil. Sorry. What did you say, Neil?
4-1.
4-1, yeah. So I thought that was right. Yeah, 4-1. What I want you to do now, Bobby, because we're about to close up the show. Can you give Neil the stage, please?
Guys, thank you very much for having me on. Just in Discord, on X, you can find me, usually bantering other teams' supporters, if I'm honest. And then, thank you for letting me on the show. I appreciate it. I enjoy the show loads. So, thank you.
Ali, over to you, bro.
Yes. YouTube. Football Takeover, obviously this is our home. And then on X, Twitter. X is Twitter. What am I talking about? I've messed that one up. X,
so good.
And Instagram. I'm thinking about the game already. There's a few hours to go, boys and girls. But yeah, X, Twitter. I've done it again. X, TikTok, Instagram, Football TK Over. I got there in the end. Football TK Over on the other socials.
Wicked. And yeah, obviously I'm G Tools Arsenal, your host. You can find me on X. Predominantly is where I do all my kind of interacting. I've been interacting a little bit more recently. And just on the note of Discord, if you are watching a show and you want to be part of our Discord community, then the best way to be part of our Discord community is to actually send me a DM. So if you go onto X, if you don't have an X account, get an X account. And then go and type in G Talks Arsenal, all one word, drop me a DM, and I will send you an invite to our Discord. But I just want to thank, obviously, everybody who basically, obviously, been supporting us on this journey, who's watching the show. Big up yourselves. Very, very thank you for, obviously, your support on this journey. Tomorrow's a huge game. Absolutely huge game. I mean, we yet again have an opportunity to maybe not extend our lead beyond 7 points, but we have an opportunity to extend our lead again to 7 points. And then obviously, like I've been saying in the show, we've got an opportunity to actually beat a side, that actually made our title rivals look pretty ordinary. And that's the real context for me. That's why it's really important that we get the win tomorrow. However necessary, I really would take an ugly 1-0 win. I'd absolutely love an absolute 4-1 spanking. So yeah, thank you everyone who's tuned in. We will be back on Sunday immediately, not immediately, but more or less straight after the game at 6:45. So tomorrow's game is at the Emirates. It's a 4:30 kickoff, and we'll be going live for our reaction show, where we will be joined by Neil again, and we'll be joined by the legend that is Brenny. So obviously, personally, just want to thank you, Neil, for coming onto the show. It's always a pleasure having you. But yeah, big up everybody who's watching. Thank you for the support.
Boys,
and
I just want to say as well, mate. I just want to say you guys are doing an awesome job as well. Like you guys make the show really fun. And also just one thing, because I've just seen how they scored the winning goal, and it was just a long throw in as well. So let's go and watch Slots post match.
Absolutely, absolutely. And on that note, go on then, Ali.
The OG in the background, Bobby. Appreciate your work, brother. And yeah, Bobby will be with us again tomorrow, and he will be with us backstage throughout this process, unless he tells us otherwise.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Ali. And on that note, we are going to say our goodbyes. So good evening, everyone, and come on, you Gunners.